Welcome to this week's FPL Sheeple podcast, a podcast that blindly follows all the great FPL content out there and tells you all about it. The FPL Sheeple podcast is available on YouTube and on all popular podcast platforms. Please follow us at FPL Sheeple on Twitter for latest updates. We come to you at the end of an exciting triple game week 35, and as opposed to our relatively sad theme last week, it's all smiles for the both of us because we hit three digits yet again this season. I'm your host Carling, and I have with me Donatello, and we are celebrating Borat style tonight, right, Donatello?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why we have the GIF. Excited for this game week. Really good points. Three digits is something you don't get every now and then. So happy with whatever I've gotten this game week. So
Yeah.
excited for today's podcast.
Yeah, me too. I agree. Yeah, triple digits is rare in FPL, and yeah, given a triple game week, we were always hoping for triple digits, and we got it. So we are really happy.
Yeah,
So
and that United versus Liverpool game turned out to be worth the wait. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, absolutely. All right then. So then let's get into the pod right away, and let's talk about the agenda for this week. We have our regular segments as usual. So we have the game week 35 review, where we review how the triple up and worked for us, and how the triple game week went for us. Uh, we did get triple digits, but how large was our haul? You'll find out all about it. And then we'll have the game week 35 creator team review. Most creators, in fact all of them, I think, ended up hitting triple digits. So yeah, we'll take a look at who they had and which players gave them a lot of points, and which creators came out on top.
absolutely. And then we are going to review the creators of the week for game week 36. Just like we mentioned last time, we're going to have two creators for this game week because
Mm-hmm.
we had some scheduling issues with one of the content creators podcast, which is coming a day later than when we record ours.
Mm-hmm.
So we decided to honor him and then listen to his podcast this week, and then follow his suggestions. And once we do that, we're going to review or like preview the last blank game week of this season, which is game
Mm-hmm.
week 36. So yeah, so we have four teams who are not playing this game week. So we're going to discuss the picks suggested by the creators
Mm-hmm.
in line with the blank game week. So, Carling, why don't we move ahead with game week
Yeah.
35 review?
Yeah.
All right, so game week 35, we had FPL Tips as our content creator of the week. As you can see, this was FPL Tips team for the week. He did not make any changes. He had a few differential picks in form of Salah, Greenwood, and Zaha, and then he had some captaincy picks in form of Rashford, Salah, and Bruno Fernandes. And yeah, we listened to what he had to say,
Mm-hmm.
and we made those changes in our team. And Carling, let's move to how we scored, starting with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah. All right.
So as you all can see, I got 116 points. I made three changes, or like four changes, I think, due to which I got a -8. So overall, my net score is 108. Really happy with this. I
Mm-hmm.
wish I could have gotten a little bit more, like 10, 15 points more, but like triple digit haul, I'm totally happy with it. So for the benefit of the listeners, I'm just going to read out my team real quick, and point out some standout performers in the teams. So starting with the goalkeeper Martinez, finally he got the elusive clean sheet, which was
Mm-hmm.
missing since game week 27. So 12 point to Martinez. I think Dean was the standout in defense, Robertson and Shaw as well. Jota with the goal, finally a goal against United. So he broke the drought for him, and then he got those 10 points. Zaha did not have any returns for me. Fernandez captain was really obvious. So
Mm-hmm.
38 points to Fernandez. And then another differential suggestions by FPL Tips. Greenwood really worked for me. 19
Yeah.
points, amazing returns. The forward line flopped, except with the exception of Iheanacho, who got me like 9 points. Watkins got a red card, so he didn't
Hmm.
feature in the second match. So all in all, I think it was a good performance. My team, I got a small grade arrow.
Yeah.
My overall rank now is like 269K,
Mm.
but I'll take that. I mean, it's like a decent haul that I have. So I'm really excited for the last 3 game weeks. So why don't you share what happened with your team?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, for me, I got 127 points, which I am really, really, really
Amazing.
happy about. And I had made two changes, so I got took a -4, which means my net score
Mhm.
was 123. That's still amazing. And as we saw with your team, even like a score of 108 was still not enough to give you a green arrow. It was a red arrow, but I feel it was more like a gray arrow than a red arrow. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
so even being having triple digits was probably not enough when your ranks were pretty high. And so yeah, with me with 123 at least, for sure it was a clear green arrow, and I jumped quite a bit from
Yeah.
660k to 530 or 540k, which is an amazing jump. So yeah, I'm really, really happy about that. I'm so glad for all the suggestions that FPL tips gave.
Hmm.
I mean, and I'll talk about my team and I'll walk you through the changes that I made. So I had Martinez in goal, and as you said, he got a clean sheet, or rather, Aston Villa just sort of eked out a clean sheet in their match against
Yeah.
Everton. So in the end, Martinez got 12 points across the two matches, which is absolutely great. Then I had Rob Holding, who was a differential in my team, and yeah, today we have the graphics from live FPL because the game week is just over like a few couple of hours ago. So the FPL official website is not updated. So we've taken our screenshot from the great website that's live FPL and
Shout
live
out to
FPL.
Live FPL.
Yeah. And so live FPL has these nice graphics that indicates if a player is really differential for your general rank. And
Yeah.
so Rob Holding, who has a star beside his name, means that he's a differential in my team. And so his 9 points are going to contribute a lot to my team. Compared to the others, so boosting my rank. So yeah, so Holding got 9 points. Shaw got 2 points. He got a big fat zero in the game against Liverpool, so because they considered 4 goals. I mean, anyway, Shaw I feel is in most teams for his attacking output, and
Yeah.
so it's fine. I mean, he could have gotten an assist or a goal here and there, and it would have been okay. But 2 points is fine, and he's a player that I think content creators just suggest that we should keep. So I'm going to trust that. And then the big one, Luca Dean, who I got off of FPL Tips's own team, and that turned
Yeah.
out to be a really great move. Again, Dean was a differential at my rank, and so his 14 points have really boosted my rank tremendously. Then
Good.
Greenwood was the second change that I made. Again, a suggestion by FPL Tips, and he scored 19 points. Massive, massive haul. He featured in all 3 games. He started the first two, and so he ended up scoring bulk of his points in those games. So he got 19. Then Salah, who got 13, finally scoring on
Yeah.
a classic
Finally.
Salah counter-attack goal against United in the
Yeah.
last minute. Then Bruno, who was my obvious captain pick, he also got 19. So that's the captain score was 38. That's great. Again, and then I had Jota, who got 10 points. Again, the
Mm.
front three was same as yours. So I had Watkins,
Yeah.
who got a really dodgy red card, so -1 for him,
Mm.
and so he didn't feature in his second game. So yeah, that's it is what it is. We just have to deal with it. Then I had Kane, who blanked again, should have scored, could did score but
Mm.
was ruled out, and but that's fine. And Iheanacho, who got 9 points. So yeah, really happy. 123 net score. That's one of the highest scores I've ever gotten in FPL. So I'm really happy about that, and yeah, yeah. We
Yeah,
move on.
that's insane. I mean, yeah, whenever there are like double game weeks or triple game weeks, you
Hmm.
expect to always score those three-digit points. But like
Yeah,
even in mid game week 35, it was a little far-fetched. I thought I wasn't expecting to get like 100 points, but then some of the matches, especially the last three ones, they like turned around the game week and then
yeah,
gave us a lot of points. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm really excited for like the points both of us got.
Hmm.
Thanks to FPL Tips again for
Yeah,
some great suggestions.
absolutely.
Yeah, Carling, do you have anything else to discuss on this, or should we move on to our creator team review?
No, I'm. Let's move on to the creator team review.
All right. So as you guys can see, we have a top 10 of our Sheeple League created
Hmm.
by none other than Live FPL.
Hmm.
Ben Krellin like 146 points. So you guys can follow us about of to know how we all are doing in this
Yeah,
league. Who's scoring how many points each week. And again, kudos and thanks a lot to Live FPL for
yeah,
creating this custom league for us. Carling, why don't you go ahead and share the
yeah,
spreadsheet so that we
yeah.
can discuss what everyone did?
Yeah. So I'm just going to pause at this moment because I notice myself in the top 10. So this is a sort of momentous
Yeah.
occasion for me in my FPL career.
Carling becoming a FPL content creator now. So maybe we should have him next
Yeah.
season.
Yeah,
Eh?
absolutely. So I'm going to savor this moment that I'm in
Oh
one
yeah,
in the top 10 scores across all these
uh,
content creators. So yeah, I'm really
absolutely.
enjoying it a lot. All right. So yeah, let's move on to the spreadsheet and let's see how everyone did.
Mm,
All right. So as usual, we have our spreadsheet that summarizes the teams that all of the 20 content creators we have on that feature on this podcast had, and we also compare the teams between all the 20 content creators. We take a look
mm,
at what were the common picks, what are the differentials, sort of giving us a guideline of which are the good players and which players can help you, boost the rank or get good points, etc. And yeah, it also has the game week points for all of the 20 content creators, and we have the total points and their overall rank and if they played any chips, etc. So for this game week we have a slight difference in the sense that the total points and the overall rank are not completely updated because the official FPL website is not yet updated as we record this podcast. So even though the game week points and the hits have been taken off of live FPL, the total points and the overall rank are from the official FPL website as it was when we recorded the podcast. So that's something we can probably ignore for this week. Anyway, so yeah, there were a couple of content creators who ended up playing a chip. So Andy, let's talk FPL from YouTube, played a free hit. So
mm.
naturally he was the third top scorer uh, this week,
Yeah.
because I mean a free hit is expected to give you that sort of boost. So yeah, it's no surprise that he's towards the top. Reading some of his tweets, sounds as if he was not absolutely over the moon with his final haul, but I feel 127 is really amazing. I mean, he's fighting at overall rank 2000 or whatever. So I guess I understand for him, he needs
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
huge haul to be able to go even further up. Um, yeah, and then Sam from the FPL family played a bench boost, which also helped them to reach number 5 in our standings this week.
Right.
All right, so then looking at the players from all these teams, we see that Iheanacho and Trent feature in all teams, and Salah features in all but
Right.
one. And as we have also highlighted in the spreadsheet the captain picks, and this is something we also tweeted out when the game week began. Bruno was the
Yeah.
captain for most of these teams and ended up getting his 19 points after bonus. So yeah, everyone was on the same page in terms of that. there was one content creator who had captain Ihanacho, which had just 9 points. I mean, Iheanacho had just 9 points, so they missed out on all the
Yeah.
other, all the majority captain picks. But so that this was Tom from
He
who
still
got the
got
assist.
127 points though.
Yeah, exactly. He still got 127 points. So
Yeah.
that's amazing because he therefore probably had all the other big hitters,
All the other
all the
picks. Yeah.
other players who went big this week in his team. And yeah, we can take a look at that. I mean, he had Greenwood, for example, and he had also Jota, he had Martinez. And then if we
Right.
move to the right to look at what differential picks he had, ah, there you go. So he's the only one who has Christian Benteke from
Christian Benteke.
Crystal
Yeah.
Palace. So yeah, 15 points for
Mm.
Christian Benteke, and that's what Tom got, and that's why he is clearly at the top, even though he didn't captain Bruno or Salah for that matter.
Yeah,
Um,
speaking of differentials, if you can stay on the screen
yeah,
for a minute,
yeah,
we don't have any differentials who like stood out this week, apart from a couple that you can obviously see, which is Christian Benteke and Seamus Coleman.
yeah.
Like none of the other players had like double figure hauls.
Hmm.
Stuart Armstrong with 7 points, and Konsa with 7 points. I guess he got a bonus as well. So Rob Holding with 9 points. So yeah, this week was more about, I guess, having a standard template team or like having those players in your team
Yeah,
in order to get that triple digit haul, right?
yeah, that is a great point because I mean, even if you take a look at let's say the free hit team, there's only one, but even if you
Yeah.
take a look at Andy's free hit team,
Mm.
he still ends up having a lot of the top players. So, for example, he has the four most common players. I mean,
Right.
obviously because like Iheanacho, Trent, Salah, and Bruno are like obvious picks. Then he has
Right.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Greenwood, who also are fairly common across all the content creators teams. And he also had Jamie Vardy and Maguire, which who also
Yeah.
featured in quite a few teams. So yeah, so even the free hit team
Yeah.
did have mm, like a bulk of players from like a common pool, and he had a few
Right.
differentials here and there which did not contribute
I
much.
think the reason he's not so pleased with his final points is because he has around 43 points on his bench. He had
Oh yeah.
Emil Smith Rowe who got 19 points.
Mm-hmm.
He had the Crystal Palace defenders who have like 13 points between them. So I guess that's the reason why he could have gotten more points, right? If he
Yeah,
had like just like two players, they would have given him 25 points more. So that would have been an insane haul. But yeah,
yeah.
in 127, not bad at all. I mean, amazing
Yeah,
points.
absolutely. And yeah, as we said at the beginning of the pod, all our content creators had a triple digit haul. So even
Yeah.
after taking the hits into account, nobody like Neil Rigg, who was our content creator of the week a few game weeks ago, had a net score of 100. So yeah, everyone was above the triple digit mark. So yeah, overall sounds like a game week where everyone went huge. And so
Yeah.
the further away or higher than 100 you were, the better it was for your ranks, etc. So yeah, so then as usual, we have our creator of the week. So again, Ben Krillin wins this game week, but
Mm.
since Ben Krillin already featured as our creator of the week in game week
Yeah.
34, we are going to go one step below to Josh or Joshua Landon from the Always Cheating podcast, um,
Yep.
who's our creator of the week. And as Donatello said at the beginning, we also have FPL Heisenberg from last game week, who we could not cover last week, and now we will cover both um, Joshua and FPL Heisenberg as part of our creators of the week. So yeah, so should we
Yep.
move on to the creators of the week?
Sure. So,
Yeah.
moving on to the first creator of the week, FPL Heisenberg.
Mm-hmm.
He was supposed to be our creator of the week for last week, but as we said, we had some scheduling issues with his podcast, which was featuring one day after we generally record. So we thought of honoring him the next weekend. Since it's the last few game weeks, we're just going to go a little crazy and have fun with
Mm-hmm.
this format. So FPL Heisenberg. You can follow him on Twitter. His handle is FPL at FPL Heisenberg. He is the co-host of the FPL Double Up podcast. Some really good insights on that podcast that he hosts, co-host rather. Speaking on his current rank, the latest game week rank is 5,173,
Mm.
which is insane. He's been playing this for like the last 8 years now, and the best rank he has gotten so far is 836. That is mind blowing.
Yeah.
He's finished top 10K like twice and top 50K like 4 times. So overall, a well seasoned content creator.
Yeah.
He's I guess he's a full time FPL manager. And he's in the top 5% of the overall ranks for the last 6 seasons. So it was great listening to the FPL Double Up podcast and understanding what picks Heisenberg suggested and the reasoning behind it. So if you can get to the
Mm-hmm.
next slide, we will see what his picks are.
Yeah.
All right. So Heisenberg was asked specific questions by the people who listen to the podcast. One of the questions was whether to replace Mendy or Forster for this upcoming blank game week because none of them have a match. And so based on that, he suggested these four goalkeepers: Pickford, Guaita, Martinez, and Allison.
Mm-hmm.
Pickford was his most preferred pick out of the four. And then he also suggested a couple of cheap defenders because nobody wants to take out the Liverpool defenders for now, and
Mm.
then probably keeping the United defenders for the next game weeks would make sense. So he suggested getting either Dallas or Sufal in because they are not that expensive right now, and they have like a good run of game matches upcoming.
Mm.
I think Bale was another good differential suggestion.
Yeah.
Bale is going to get 90 minutes, or I mean, he said that he doesn't get full 90 minutes, but his conversion rate is the best right now. For the amount of time he plays. So Bale is another suggestion. And then they had this segment in their podcast where they were talking about cheap forwards.
Mm-hmm.
So the four names that you can see: Antonio, Bamford, Wood, and DCL. They were like highly recommended. DCL is not like a cheap option, but if you have the cash, you can certainly go for him. But I guess he was more leaning towards Chris Wood or Patrick Bamford,
Mm-hmm.
Antonio as well. So these were all the suggestions, or based on the logic I just mentioned by FPL Heisenberg,
Mm-hmm.
and then we made changes based on not just these, but also based on the next content
Yeah.
creator who Carling is going to
Yeah.
introduce.
Yeah, so the second creator of this week we have is Joshua Landon, who is one half of the Always Cheating FPL podcast. So
Mm.
if you want to follow Joshua on Twitter, his Twitter handle is at Josh Landon. And yeah, the Always Cheating podcast is one of the most popular podcasts that comes from the United States of America. And yeah, this is something that I found really interesting. So the name Always Cheating, and I think Donatello will find this interesting, comes from this old Arsenal chant, which goes like same old Arsenal always cheating, same old
Yeah.
Arsenal always cheating. So that's, and I think Joshua himself is an Arsenal fan, and I think he likes this chant, so that's where the name comes from. So yeah, so the Always Cheating podcast is always also insightful. Really gives a crisp overview of all the player picks for the week, etc. And then they also dive into the stats as to why these picks are good. This week they had a special segment in the podcast where they featured sort of a team of the year, or rather, as they
Mm,
called it, the Make Fantasy Fun Again, or MFFA
mm,
All Stars team. So they went through all the
mhm.
20 teams and came up with the best players fantasy wise, for this year, etc. So yeah, check it out. It's a fun
Nice.
listen. And yeah,
Mm,
and so then Joshua's current rank this season, he's doing amazing. He's at 2507 rank again. This is before the official, I mean, this is, I think, based on live FPL, so the official ranks might vary a little bit, but yeah, anyway,
mm.
2500 is an amazing rank. And he has been
Well, yeah, I
playing.
mean, both our content creators have like four-digit ranks, so it's
Yeah,
like insane, right?
yeah, it's been sort of a trend, like in the past few game weeks.
Mm,
All our top creators of the week have been four digit ranks currently. So yeah, so he's played fantasy league for 9 years, and his best rank has been 1224. Again, amazing rank. And he has hit the top 5k three times and the top 100k three times. So another,
nice.
again, a reason why these guys are pundits and content creators, because they are so consistent and great at this game. So yeah, so
Yep.
we checked out the Always Cheating podcast this week, and Josh, so we specifically took a look at Josh's picks, and
Mm,
what he suggested as the players that he prefers. So he suggested
mm,
Foden as a nice differential pick because it's an easy game for Manchester City,
yeah,
and Foden is most likely to start because Kevin De Bruyne is injured, so Foden might start.
right.
Then Dominic Calvert-Lewin was another player he suggested. Then Son and Bale from Tottenham,
Mm,
because they have an easy fixture as well. And he suggested three captain picks, which were Salah, Kane, and DCL, with DCL, or Dominic Calvert-Lewin, being his preferred captain choice. So
right,
yeah, so it was
right.
pretty clear, and yeah, very interesting picks. So yeah, so
Yeah,
with these two content creators pool of players, we made changes. Yeah, you were saying? Sorry.
yeah, no, I was saying interesting to see Bale and DCL as the common suggestion between
Mm,
both
yeah.
Josh and Heisenberg. So
Mm-hmm.
uh, it would be interesting to see if either of us have them in our team.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, let's take a look at your team. No, first my team. Yeah,
I think
sorry.
yours
Yeah,
first.
yeah. So yeah, I took a look at this, and as you said, Dominic Calvert-Lewin was common across the two, and I have
Mm,
indeed gone for him. And so
nice.
the I have again made two changes, gone for that -4. I mean, the -4 really worked out well
Mm,
this week, and I'm hoping it'll do the same. And anyway, it's a blank game week, so I need to maximize the number of players that I can put out
right.
in my starting 11. So that's why I made the two changes. So I have transferred out Iheanacho because he blanks in game week 36 and he has tough fixtures after that. So I've taken him out, and I have brought in Dominic Calvert-Lewin. And
Mm,
Dominic Calvert-Lewin is my captain pick because I really liked Josh Landon's suggestion of DCL being a good captain pick, or his most preferred captain pick, because it's a
right.
match against Sheffield United at home, one of the
Yeah.
easiest fixtures. So, and DCL always gets the big chances. So yeah, I'm put the captain's armband on him. And my second change was that in order to fund the move from Iheanacho to DCL, I downgraded Bruno to Son. So yeah, so I've gotten rid of Bruno. I know he scores big points, and he's probably going to get quite a few points in the last two game weeks, but I mean, I think I have to go for Son and his big point scoring capabilities in this game week and the next two, and then I'll take a look at if I can bring Bruno in later. But anyway, those are my two changes. So the team that I have is Martinez in goal, yeah. So Martinez in goal. He plays against Crystal Palace. Then I have Connor Townsend from West Brom. He plays against Liverpool, so I expect nothing out
Mm.
of him. He's pretty much my blank blank player in this team. Then I have Lorente, the defender from Leeds, who I brought in last week with the view that he has good fixtures now. And I have Luca Dean, an absolute hero.
Right.
Then I have Lingard, Salah, Son, and Jota. And my forward lineup is Watkins, Kane, and Calvert Lewin as my captain. So yeah, so all 11 players in my team play. Connor Townsend, I would call half a player. So I have 10 and a half players who play out of my starting 11. So yeah, I'm happy with this team. And
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a good team, and looks like you have gotten the bug of doing minus fours like me. And
Yeah.
yeah, Son is a really good pick because it's Wolves at home. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's going to be an interesting match. But
Yeah.
Calvert Lewin is I think a good choice again. So I think
Yeah.
overall your team, except for the two defenders, I feel is
Yeah.
like really good on paper. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree. All right. Yeah, let's take a look at your team. I'm looking forward to that.
Sure. So I have gone the conservative road this time. I
Uh-huh.
just made one change
Ah.
because I didn't want to spend much. I had almost all players playing. The only change I made was one player who was not featuring was Iheanacho.
Mm-hmm.
And I took Heisenberg's suggestion and I got in Chris Wood for him
Okay.
because I didn't want to do that -4. I I wanted to take out Zaha and Iheanacho, but I felt like just sticking with Zaha for this game week, and see what he does. You never
Yeah.
know, and I feel like he's a differential and has an interesting match against Aston Villa. So one change: Iheanacho out, Chris Wood in,
Mm-hmm.
and my team is as follows: Martinez in goal, Luca Dean, Robertson, Ola Aina, and Matt Target as my defense line. Jota, Zaha, and Lingard, my midfielders.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone with Kane captain, sort of a conventional captain pick. I was thinking about Jota, but yeah, again, I don't know if he's going to convert. He did score today, but I don't know if he's going to take his chances. He did miss a couple of easy ones today, so
Mm-hmm.
didn't really trust him. So I made Kane captain, and then I have Chris Wood and Ollie Watkins as my
Yeah.
other two forwards. So just like you, I have probably two defenders, or like one defender at least, who falls into that filler
Yeah.
player, Ola Aina. I don't have any expectations of any points from him, so
Okay.
he's in my team and he plays, so he's on that team sheet for this game week. So that's pretty much my team for game week 36.
Yeah, no, it looks good. And I mean, yeah, Chris Wood is a fantastic punt, and I think he's been on red hot form, so he should.
Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's probably going to get points in the next matches as well. So yeah, it's very
yeah.
interesting, and yeah, I mean, yeah, Zaha, as you said, it's worth looking at what he does for one game week. No point in taking a hit and bringing in someone else. Maybe I don't know. What were your thoughts about Phil Foden as an alternative to Zaha, or too much
Yeah,
rotation risk?
well, it all came down to that -4, and I really wanted DCL. Like, I only wanted to make one change, and I didn't have enough cash to make that change.
Hmm.
So I was thinking of getting DCL and then removing Zaha and getting Foden, but
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't trust like uh, Pep Roulette basically.
Yeah.
I know he's going to start, but I don't think I was so inclined towards him getting me attacking returns. So I feel Chris Wood is in more better form. He scored like 5 goals or 6 goals out of 3 matches.
Yeah.
So I went with his form rather than Foden. And then I felt like if I'm going to stick with a differential, then why not stick with
Yeah,
Zaha from last
yeah,
game week and see what happens? So
yeah. No,
that
that
was
makes
the logic
sense.
behind it.
Yeah, all right, makes sense. Yeah, so yeah, then these are our teams, and should be really interesting. I mean, surprising that in a blank game week, both of us have managed to get all 11 players out there, and yeah,
Absolutely.
as the content creators have sort of hinted that this week, even if you have 9 or 10 players, that should be still good enough. You should just end up having, you know, the main players like
Yeah,
Kane.
especially, yeah. Yeah, good point. I mean, FPL Heisenberg also pointed out it's not worth taking big hits this game week. Even if you have like 9 or 10
Yeah,
players, that should be more than enough for this game week, because you have like 2 full game weeks where you have those players, and it's not really worth taking hits at this point. Like hits in the sense -8, -12, or whatever you guys are
yeah,
thinking. So that's a good point.
yeah. So yeah, so good luck to us both. Let's see what the blank
Yeah.
game week has in store for us, and we'll know next week based on the general theme of our podcast if in which direction the blank game week took us. So
I
yes,
think it's going uphill from now. So
yeah,
I mean, when I mean uphill, it's going up for us. So
yeah,
I'm assuming I'm guessing that it's going to be another good game week based on our
yeah,
team. So
yeah. I hope so too.
let's move on to the fixtures then.
Yep. So yeah, so
Right, great.
yeah, so this time around we've done something different. Is instead of walking through every match, we've sort of already put down our predictions yeah, on the screen, and we'll take a look at a few interesting ones where we are sort of differing or think that something else might occur. So yeah, so
Yeah,
Newcastle, Man City, both of us have gone for a Man City win, so no surprises
yeah,
there. Burnley and Leeds, I am saying it's a 2-1 victory to Leeds, and you are saying it's a 2-all draw, hoping that your Chris Wood
yeah.
comes good. I think, yeah. And yeah, I mean, it's absolutely possible that way.
Hmm.
Southampton and Fulham, we've picked the exact same score line of 2-0 to Southampton, so no, I guess
Yeah.
no point
No
discussing
hopes
there.
from Fulham. They just can't score anymore.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, and so talk me through your prediction for Brighton versus West Ham, where you're going for a West Ham 2-0 win, and I'm going for a 1-all draw. So why do you think West Ham are going to
Yeah,
win?
I just feel like it's West Ham have been struggling a bit in the last couple of game weeks, or 3 game weeks, something like that. And I think it's a fight for top four now, or
Yeah,
like the European football spots. So
yeah,
I think West Ham will turn up um, definitely this game week, and probably usually, like earlier on, they scored like 3 goals every game. Now they are
yeah,
like, they just can't they're not able to score. So
yeah,
but I think they're going to break it this time. I feel that that team is going to score a couple of goals to win this one comfortably against Brighton, and Brighton is missing Lewis Dunk, their like main center back. So I think that's a good opportunity for West Ham to bang in some goals.
yeah. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. So then the next fixture is Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. Both of us have gone for a 2-1 victory to Aston Villa. So
Hmm.
nothing much to discuss there. The Spurs and Wolves game, we have gone for a Spurs victory, but our score lines are totally different. I've gone for a 2-0 win to Spurs, and you are saying it's going to be a super thriller match, and Spurs are going to win 3-2. So yeah, so
Yeah,
you,
I mean, Wolves are scoring every match now, and Spurs defense isn't that great.
hmm,
So I mean, I think there's going to be goals, but
yeah.
I feel Spurs is going to edge it eventually.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah, somehow I feel wolves are still a bit toothless, for lack of a better
Yeah,
pun or whatever. But yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a fair point that they have been scoring in these past few weeks, every match.
yeah,
But yeah, anyway, a Spurs victory is what we're expecting
yep,
here. All right, then West Brom versus Liverpool. Yeah, it's an obvious one in the sense that we've both predicted a Liverpool victory, but I have gone for a more conservative scoreline of 3-1, whereas You seem to have gone for a 5-0 to Liverpool. So yeah,
Well, yeah, I
yeah,
mean, going by today's performance, I think they're on a roll and they want that fourth spot. So I
yeah,
think they're going to just steamroll West Brom, and then hopefully, I mean, if they lose it against West Brom, it will be quite a shame. But I think they're in good form and their players are like peaking just at the right time. Trent,
yeah,
Salah scored finally, Jota scored today, and even I guess all the forwards scored today is basically
yeah.
my point. And I feel like West Brom relegated, have nothing left in to, so it's going to be like a walk in the park, hopefully for Liverpool.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think Liverpool really look hungry and they should score a bunch of goals. And yeah, West Brom in general would be a bit dejected since they've been relegated. And yeah, Sam Allardyce gets relegated for the first time in his
Mm,
managerial career. So
yeah.
yeah, no idea of how that's going to impact their performance. But yeah, I
Yeah,
still
and
yeah, sorry.
yeah, and Liverpool have like three. If they win three matches, their remaining three matches, and if either of their top four opponents falter on the way, like that spot is theirs for taking
Yeah.
this. So I guess that they'll continue with that momentum.
Yeah, yeah. I still feel the Liverpool defense is a bit weak, and that's why I've
Yeah,
said that West Brom would score. But yeah,
yeah,
clean sheet is good in any case for us. Yeah, and in the last match for game week 36, Everton versus Sheffield United, both of us have gone for a 2-0 victory to Everton. No
yeah.
surprises there. Yeah, I hope both of the goals fall to DCL and my captaincy pick comes through. Yeah,
I hope both of the assists falls to Luka Dean
yeah,
then.
yeah, yeah. That would be just brilliant. Yeah. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
those are our predictions for Game Week 36. Yeah, remember the deadline. I think is on Thursday evening, or Thursday night, depending on where you are in the world, or Thursday afternoon again. Yeah, but in general, it's on Thursday, so keep an eye out and do make the
no,
transfers.
it's not on Thursday. It's on Friday actually.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah, it's on Friday. I'm sorry. Yeah, today is Thursday. It's on Friday. So
Yeah.
yeah, just keep an eye out and do make your changes before the deadline. So yeah, so that's it from us. Do you want to say something, Donatello, before we close this
No,
out?
I mean just relaying your emotions of having like good game weeks
Yeah,
going forward. So
yeah,
hopefully again this will be. I don't expect like three digits again, but
yeah,
hopefully a decent game week for both of us and
yeah,
for everyone who's listening to us and following these content creators. So
yeah.
good luck to everyone.
Yeah, good luck everyone, and thank you for listening. Yeah, remember to like, subscribe, and comment on the YouTube video, and or if you are listening to this podcast in the audio version, please leave a review if you can on any of the podcast platforms that you listen to. It really helps us, and do share the podcast with your friends who play FPL, or in general if they are football fans and would like to get into FPL. It would be nice if you can share the podcast with them as well. So yeah, so thanks for listening. Good luck in game week 36, and we'll see you in just 3 or 4 days time, because the next game week is a short turnaround. So yeah, see you in on Monday, and it's a goodbye from both of us. Have a good game week. Goodbye.